at sunrise. Camera in her hand, hope in her eyes. Dust on the trail, sky open wide. Talking about grace with every stride. Welcome to Lori's Soul Circle. Come walk a little while, talking faith, talking courage, laughing, crying, finding light inside. Step by step, she reminds you you are stronger than you knew. Lori's Soul Circle, God's love walking with you. She's breathing out fear on the hillside, turning every hurt into a highlight. A little roadside cross, she nods her head, says, "You ain't alone in the words he said." Welcome to Lori's Soul Circle. Come walk a little while, talking faith, talking courage, laughing, crying, finding light inside. Step by step, she reminds you you are stronger than you knew. Lori's Soul Circle, God's love walking with you. She says, lift your eyes, even when the path gets steeper. Every valley, every question, he's still leading with your feet. So you walk, so you breathe, you believe. Welcome to Lori's Soul Circle. Come walk a little while, talking faith, talking courage, laughing, crying, finding light inside. Step by step, she reminds you you are stronger than you knew. Lori's Soul Circle, walk a little while, talking faith, talking courage, laughing, crying, finding light inside. Step by step, she reminds you you are stronger than you knew. Lori's Soul Circle, God's love walking with you.
Hello, everybody. I may have to play that song again for my ending screen, just so everybody can hear it. I don't know who joined in time to hear it, but that song was made for me by Daniel from DG Outdoors channel, and it was a beautiful gift. Totally caught me by surprise, and I just love it. I just love it. I've been sharing it with everybody, so it is going to be the official theme of my channel. And I know he's created songs for other folks too. And Sally's done a nice job. And I think Mike's also done, I don't know what to call it, maybe a commercial or just, it's kind of a compilation of their channel using their theme songs. So I want to do that as well. And I'll put it up as a short or something. And actually, I'm going to ask, Sally has offered to help me. So I am officially going to hire Sally to help me with that compilation, as well as some other things. So she's really good with pulling things together and just kind of knowing what people want and are looking for. And she doesn't even mind working with boring people like me, as she says. I like boring colors, just boring pictures. But she said, whatever I want, she's willing to do it. So stay tuned for that. That will be coming. Let me just, I know CL's here. Good morning, hon. And of course, Sally. Where's my, and I saw Dana. Let me see. Hey, Jason. Welcome, hon. I've been saving my coffee grounds, so hopefully one of these days I'll be able to plant a garden, maybe the end of May. So never, and my husband, who's done landscaping most of his life, said he has never heard of that. So excited to try that. Do you all get really excited on Wednesday nights, Thursdays, and Sunday nights? Yes, and how can you not get excited on Wednesday nights? Seriously, oh my goodness, between Daniel's live stream at 6, and he was showing us how to use his, I'm going to call it a bow. I'm pretty sure that's what he called it, maybe a crossbow or something. And then you had Scott, who was like jumping all over the place. That man is so full of excitement. I don't know how you can not be excited, because if you went there kind of in a melancholy mood or anything like that, you don't leave. You don't leave it. You don't leave his live stream that way. So, yes, for sure. Hey, Teresa, I'm glad you could pop in. Yeah, don't you love the song? I love the song. Totally, just it blew me away. It blew me away. So. And again, he's done it for quite a few folks. I told him, I said, you know what? You should offer that. You should offer it as an offering, right? I mean, again, it's kind of like Sally. They go to your channels, they learn, they learn who you are, they learn your personalities, and they learn about your channel, and then they kind of take their creativeness and they spin it for you. So loved it. I haven't seen you in a while, Okies. Oh, he's around. He's around. He's almost as famous as Mike. Almost. Mike's still famous. The most famous. How are you, Mike? My shirt? Badass coffee? Has anybody ever been? When I went to Florida earlier this year, they had a couple badass coffee shops, and it was fun. They were fun. I liked them. So I had to get a couple t-shirts. Your handsome brother, Michael. Is Daniel on? So I don't know if he's on, but again, I will be giving him a shout out once I have that commercial put together. So yeah, the man is talented. Hello, hello. I love my song too. He's such a doll. Yes. I've heard yours. I've heard Mike's. There was somebody else. Who else did he do one for? He did. Thought I heard another one. Hello. A video took the song and made it into a video. A video took the song and made it into a video. Yes, she doesn't know it, but I have a project I will be asking for help with also. Right, Dana? I mean, she's just a wizard, and all of a sudden, I'll just be sitting minding my own business, and all this stuff comes across my phone. I'm like, ooh, I like that. Ooh, and I like that. And the other thing I'm going to have her help me with, and I think I mentioned it to her, maybe I didn't, so it might become as a surprise, but I did do some stickers. I have been wanting stickers since Okies Eden first showed us his stickers, which was a long time ago. And since then, I've been working on like a logo, just different things. And so I ordered stickers. I finally got something that I thought I liked. I ordered them, and I know other people have ordered from this company, so I don't think it was the company. I will assume it's me, but don't like the stickers. And not only did I not like them, I mean, they were so hard to peel the backing off of. They didn't come in a roll. They didn't come on a sheet. They just came like circle stickers, each one, and the backing was cut to the sticker. So you really can't even get the sticker off without like kind of creasing the sticker to kind of peel the back. And then you have a crease in the sticker. So they're all going in the trash. Don't like them. So I'm going to have Sally help me with new stickers. So stay tuned for that too. Hopefully sooner than later. I didn't mean you were boring. I just like, it's okay. It's okay. I've been called worse, Sally. Boring's okay. So, I have one. You have a song, Dana? Is that the other song that I heard? Maybe that's it. I knew there was somebody else. Hi, hon. How are you? Hope you're doing good, Jen. Levi is, thank you for asking. We're still struggling with his eating. So, um, just taking it day by day. That's, we're still struggling with his eating. He's still, he's starting to definitely want to sleep more. So we have noticed that. But he still gets up. He wants to go for his walks. He's still wagging his tail. You know, we're almost the vet didn't say there was an infection, but all signs point to that to us. But if the vet's saying there isn't one, then we're not sure what else to do. So we're just kind of staying in tune to what he's doing, and yeah, we will definitely cross the bridge if we have to. So, but thank you for asking. Hey Daniel, were your ears ringing because we were talking about you? I played the song. It's gonna be my theme song now for my channel. So I played it on the opening, and I will play it again at the end. I'll just use my opening screen for my ending screen. But so stick around if you can. Stick around till the very end, even if you have to kind of walk away and multitask or whatever, just so you can hear the song. And I did say, Daniel, that I'm gonna have Sally put a compilation together for me. I just have to get her some pictures and stuff. So like she and I know Mike did, and so I'm gonna actually get it out there. You did an amazing job. Amazing. Thank you. I absolutely love Lori's song. Yeah, you were spot on. You were like, I am so honored. I'm just so just humbled. Hey Tyler, how are you, hun? Hopefully you guys are doing just a little bit better today. So, okay, hello everybody. So what I wanted to talk about, and it's certainly, I'm not trying to get anybody nervous or anything like that, but I think we also have to be realistic with what's going on in the world right now and what the signs are pointing to. So I just think, let's talk about it, and let's, not talk about it out of fear, but let's talk about it out of being prepared. So that's the direction I want to talk about today is, let's just make sure we're prepared, not only with our physical needs, our medical needs, but just even our spiritual needs, right? Let's make sure that we are all in a good place no matter what comes our way. Because not that anybody ever reads the descriptions of these videos or anything, but in the description, I even said, peace isn't the absence of chaos, right? It's choosing peace even when there's chaos, and whether it's, in a larger scale, like right now globally, or even sometimes in our old world, right? There's chaos in our own world. We're faced with things, whether it's, a sick animal who's part of our family, or it's a financial stress or a health stress, relationship, right? Sometimes there's chaos even in our own world. So I guess that's just what I wanted to talk about, to make sure that we're all in a good place. And I think what to start out with, and I don't really have an agenda. I have some talking points, but I don't really have an agenda or anything. But if there is ever a time, and maybe Sally can attest to this, or I certainly can attest to this, when there is chaos going on in our own world, our YouTube family, our YouTube community has been such a rock. It really, really has. And, I think that's one thing. We need to stay plugged into that. Yeah, we don't get to see them in person, or anything like that. But man, if I'm having a bad day, I'm texting Scott, I'm texting Sally, I've texted Allie, or Daniel. I mean, Daniel has sent me some beautiful messages. So don't underestimate the power of community. Don't underestimate going to these YouTube live streams. So obviously everybody here knows the importance of the community, but if somebody stumbles upon the replay of this, look for some live streams to belong to. And I will say, and actually I'm going to repost it because I do have some changes. I have an ongoing list of live streams. It's not a comprehensive list at all, but it'll get you going. Pick any one of them that you can just pop into. And you know what? You can just sit up in the bleachers, right? You don't have to talk. You can just be in the background. But you can also feel that energy coming across and the love coming across from the other people in the community. So I think that's the first thing is when things do get a little hard or things do, you're having a bad moment, a bad day, a bad week, reach out to somebody in the community. I don't think there's anybody here that would not want to hear from you and help support you. So I guess that'd be the first thing I would say. And I know there's a lot of economic pressures going on right now, too. Again, whether it's in our own personal families or more globally, I'm seeing it because I have two young kids. I have my daughter who's graduating this year and then her boyfriend who graduated last year. But they're both, again, in the middle of a job search. And her boyfriend does have a job, but he's out on the West Coast and he's trying to get back to the East Coast. And I don't want to say it's been a struggle, but it's certainly not as easy as it could be, especially with everything going on in the world. I think some of these companies, these corporations are kind of pausing and holding back to kind of see what comes up. And obviously not just that, but everything going on with AI as well. And a lot of us in this community use AI and we love AI, and no means am I telling you not to use AI, but I have this love-hate relationship with it because there's a lot of good, but there's a lot of not so good that comes out of it too. And I don't think anybody ever talks about that. But anyways, so the economic things, and one of the other things in the economic space, right, or the energy space, it's tied together, is we're seeing these gas prices go up. And it's not someday, it's now. I don't know about any place else in the country, but I know in a matter of a week, our gas has jumped 40 cents. And it's one thing to have it jump at the pump because we can somewhat control how much we drive, which is what I think they're hoping for. But it also impacts everything else you buy, everything else in your life, everything. And whether it actually impacts them or not, sometimes I think that gives these corporations a green light to give the appearance that it's already impacting. So in those respects, in the economic respects, in the energy respects, if there's things that you can do today to kind of just prepare, and I'm not saying, get a whole bunker, I'm not saying get a whole storage room full of stuff, but what can you do today to make sure that you're somewhat prepared? Now, I'm not telling you to go out and buy, reams and reams of toilet paper. I know that was the big one back 6 years ago. But if things are on sale, stock up. And whatever that means, if that means buying an extra one, if that means buying 5 extra ones, only you know your family. But just stock up. Watch for the sale prices. Freeze things. And plan. Don't just randomly do dinners every night. Literally, meal plan for the whole week. Because then when you do that, you can also see, or you can plan it around what's on sale at the markets. We're also coming into the growing season, which is really good for some of us. But one of the other things I've heard is, the whole fertilizer situation is going to be rough this year because of it. So, I see Oki out there every day building his garden, expanding his garden. So even if you have a small patch of land in your yard, or you have even a small balcony, a deck, there are plants that you can actually grow in containers. So just start thinking about those things. Start thinking about if there was some type of, where you lost power. And you don't need an energy crisis to lose power. Sally can attest to that. Do you have candles? Do you have backup of anything? Just think along those lines. I'm not trying to instill any type of panic or anything like that, but the Bible tells us we should be prepared. It tells us not to live in fear, not to walk in fear. And that's not what I'm proposing, but I think a lot of times when you just face things head on and then you say, okay, well, what can we do? And when you're prepared, you're less panicked. You have, you walk in fear less. So let me hop back into the comments and see if anybody is even listening to me. Okay, I think I got to Tyler. Oh, hey, Pam. Glad you could join, hon. I just started your Bible series last night. I didn't get through the whole thing, but I did just start it. So looking forward to that one. Hi, Pam. We need more Canadians here. Yes, yes. And let me ask, are you, Jen and Pam, are you seeing any type of gas increase yet or anything like that? Have you noticed it there where you're at? Or is it just the state of Massachusetts, which is horrible, but could just be us. It's usually us and sometimes California. Hello to everybody. Let me see. Thanks, Sally. I try. You do an amazing job. And Daniel, I told you you missed it in the beginning, but I said that, you spend time on people's channels, you get to know people. And I think that's why you do such a good job putting these songs together, because you really, you draw out people's personalities, or you draw out, their good qualities. And I don't know, I think it should be an offering. It should be something. I know right now you're just doing it because you like doing it, but you should offer it as a service. I think a lot of people would love it. You offer the song, right? You create the song for them, and then you and Sally could go into business together, because Sally could do the compilations for the folks. They just have to supply her with the pictures that they want in the compilation. There you go. Between the two of you, you could have a really good offer. So, yep, Pam and Jen are in Canada, Southern Ontario. So Alberta and Southern Ontario. Pam, my last name is Jelanis, which I'm probably pronouncing wrong. My half French Canadian on my dad's side. Oh, sorry, Pam. Yeah, I was just telling somebody, I think it was Jason who was mentioning it, but it's a coffee shop, and I think they're making their way around the country. I went to the one in St. Augustine, Florida. Told my husband we should open one up at near our lake house, because there are none up there, but their franchise requirements are ridiculous. So it won't be happening in our future. So this community has changed my outlook in life just in the few weeks of knowing you all. And I know that goes to everybody, and it's so true, Jen. It really, and that's why it's almost like a lifeline, right? You just go in. Who did I say it to the other day? Sometimes you just have to go to these live streams. Maybe it was Sally, and you just sort of go in and you recharge yourself. And you can't make everybody's live stream, and that's okay. That's why there's replays. And especially, have you guys ever listened to Sally on double speed? Try it sometime. I was not able to make her live stream. Was it yesterday? There was one day I overslept. It was the day she had to start early. I overslept, and I just figured it would have been too late by the time I joined. So I did listen to the replay, and I put her on double speed. So it was kind of cool. Definitely had a lot of energy. You think she has a lot of energy normally? Try her on double speed. Hey, Daryl. How did the interview go, hon? Hopefully it went well. I think it was at 9 this morning. I have been so supported by all of you during this hard time. Yeah, Sally, well, you do the same for everybody, right? And that's what it's all about. You pay it forward, and it's kind of, I don't know if I necessarily believe in karma, but I know a lot of people say that. But it's somewhat the boomerang effect. I'll call it that. Somebody recently called it that. And, what you put out there does come back. And you put a lot of good stuff out there, Sally. So it's no surprise to me that you're getting it right back at you. I'm in awe of the friendships I have. 100%, Sally. I echo that. Even Michael has been a rock. He has spent many phone calls and text messages listening to me. Famous Mike? Are you talking about Famous Mike? He does have a tender heart. That's for sure. I'm just skipping hellos so I don't get too far behind. The government is just a bit. Yes, it is, Tyler. Yes, it is. I was gonna say, don't ever watch anything on TV because none of it's real. But it doesn't mean the outcome is not real, right? It doesn't mean that gas prices really aren't going up. It doesn't mean that they're going to try and tell you there's this energy crisis and you can only get so much gas each week. They're not, it doesn't mean that. The end result still happens. It's just the why is what's made up. So, Jen, I agree, and I'm very new. Oh, the community. Hello. Florida does good at trying to keep a balanced budget. Our gas hasn't jumped as bad as other places. I will say that, CL. Florida has, my oldest daughter lives in Florida, and it was a night and day difference between, Massachusetts and Florida. They did not have any type of shutdowns. I do think there was a time that they had to wear masks and stuff, but no shutdowns. Where there was major shutdowns here. It was crazy. They would only allow so many people in a store. You had to go shopping on certain days. Might be another reason that my husband and I need to get out of Massachusetts soon. And I know we do have the lake house. I just don't like the lake house in the summer because it gets so busy. But that's me. Being less dependent on corporations, stores, infrastructure, just more self-reliance. 100%. 100%. And especially, again, if you can somewhat prepare in advance, then you're less nervous about anything. You're less, not that you welcome anything like that, but you just remember who's in control. And, I think, so I talked about the community, and the other thing I want to talk about before we even get into the economics or the energy or whatever was we got to make sure that our hearts and our souls are right with, with the collective, with God. And, if there's anybody in your life, again, everybody who's here, I feel, is right with God, and I could be wrong. So if you're not, or if somebody is watching this on the replay, I would challenge that this did not come across your feed by mistake. It is definitely somebody trying to get your attention. And all I'm saying is get right with God. And I've known people, and God is my witness, I have known people that have recently come to me and have said, I haven't always believed in, that there's an afterlife and that there's a God and all that, but they have now said, there is no way there isn't because of everything that's going on. So that in itself, if that has brought more people to, just find out who they really are or whose they really are, then sometimes that's a good thing, right? I mean, I even shared with you guys that one of the things when my husband was laid off during a very dark season, heavy season for us, that was one of the things that was a benefit. He got closer to God. Probably, I would actually say first time he ever talked to him, first time he ever met him where he was at. So, and you don't have, I'm not saying you have to go to church. I'm not saying you have to do any of that. Just get quiet. Just get quiet and start talking. So that really should be right up there with making sure you're prepared for no matter what comes. Because when you understand the whole picture and when you understand who really is in charge, and it doesn't mean that some of this stuff isn't real, and I truly believe in this spiritual warfare that's going on, you just got to remember that good always prevails, always. And one way to make fear or the dark side or evil disappear, all you have to do is bring love and truth to it. because by bringing truth to a situation, it just sheds light on it, right? And what does, a lit candle do in a dark room? Gets rid of the dark. It always will. So I should have said that earlier on. But yes, good point, Pam. Did you guys like my live stream yesterday shooting my bow? Yes, I think it was Sally Daniel who had said, do you guys get excited? Excuse me. Do you guys get excited for Wednesday nights? And I'm like, oh my goodness, how could you not be excited? You start out with Daniel, and he's out in the nature, and he's out in the fresh air, and that wind is blowing, and he's just having a good time, and he's showing off his bow, and he had a lot of passion around it. It was just so refreshing, and it was fun. It was fun. It's just, of course, you have the peanut gallery in the comments, but we wouldn't take the peanut gallery any other way. We love them dearly. But the whole thing, right? The whole thing, just, it's fun. It's lighthearted. And then you go over to Scott's, and oh my goodness, I don't know. He had some type of energy drink or something. He was like bouncing off the walls last night, and with his energy. So if you went with a heavy heart, you definitely didn't leave with a heavy heart last night. That was awesome. And I think it was somebody who said they didn't realize how late it was when he finally got off. No. And again, I say when you're having fun, you always hear that time flies when you're having fun. And the reason for that is because you're in the flow. And when you're in the flow, that's when everything lines up. That's when things work out for you. That's when you're on that, you're vibrating at that right frequency of where your desires are at. So you always want to get out and have fun because it gets you in the flow so much quicker than anything else. So yes, Daniel, we loved your live stream last night. See what happens when you're just a few minutes late? In May, I may start buying extra canned food and protein bars for the hurricane gel. Yeah, actually, you know what? You bring up a good point, CL. I mean, all you folks from Florida deal with these hurricanes all the time. So just to forget what's going on in the world, you guys are dealing with Mother Nature every single year. So you probably have the preparedness down full stop. I mean, and now that I think about it, maybe even in Oklahoma, where Jason is at, I don't know, are there tornadoes out there or anything out there that you have to always be prepared for? Sometimes we get hurricanes here in New England. Obviously, we get blizzards and stuff, but I don't think we have to be as prepared as, other places around the country. And we have learned, we have a generator and stuff, which you need to think, okay, if you have a generator, a generator is only as good as the energy you have for the generator, right? So you got to make sure that you have whether, gas to fill the generator, but then also, do you have a different way when you do lose power? Do you have a different way to cook? We do have a grill, so you got to make sure you have propane for it, right? And we grill all year long, even in a snowstorm, we grill. So that's not an issue for us. But you got to be prepared. You got to make sure that you have extra propane tanks and whatnot, extra 5-gallon gas cans for the generator. So again, just kind of thinking ahead. So you just bring up a good point, CL, that you Floridians must pretty much always be prepared at this, especially when you're going into the hurricane season. Absolutely, or huge gas price jumps. Such large grocery bills really impacted here in Canada. Yeah, and I went to the grocery store the other day, and I will say I did buy, and I typically don't, but I did buy laundry detergent, a couple of them, because they were like $1.50 off of what they normally are. The one, the brand I buy. So I did buy them, but usually I don't get them at the grocery store, at the market. But my grocery bill for 2 people was $328. That is so insane. It's insane. And we're not coming home with all this junk food. We're not coming home with all this food. It's mostly vegetables, protein, and some dairy. We don't even buy eggs because we have, our own egg source, but $328. So maybe if I didn't buy the detergents, maybe it would have been $280 or so, but still crazy. And part of that is obviously tax, but still, it's just insane. And I have to say that over the last couple of weeks, when I go to the grocery store, I'm always thinking of Daniel because his lifestyle has had to change. You know, his food intake has had to change on this health journey. And CL, I know you're on that health journey as well. So you have to buy certain types of food. And it's just so dang expensive. And obviously the, you know, the raises and whatnot are just not keeping up with the cost of living and everything else. And that's the thing about energy, right? Not only does it impact your gas, it impacts everything you touch, everything. And I just think it's going to be harder to get things in this country. And so you just have to think, is there something that I want to get, 3 months from now? Is it something you can maybe get now? That's all. Because I do not think prices are going to go down anytime soon. In fact, I don't think prices ever go down. Once they go up, they rarely come down. So you're feeling it there as well, Pam. I suspect everybody globally is feeling this. I know other countries are really feeling it as well. I know Europe is. India, I hear, is really taking a beating. So the business manager. I'm telling you, Daniel, I got these plans. I was ranting to Sally last night about it, and she probably finally just said, I'm done talking to Lori, because I didn't hear back. But I'm like, we got to do this, we got to do this. And I'm like, we got a whole business plan. And she's like, yeah, I'm done. So anyways, I will pick that back up. Any suggestions on trivia for Saturday? Hopefully you got some suggestions, Sally. I mean, I really liked the Bible one you had the other day, because I could answer some of them. But when you do music and stuff, I mean, I love music, but I'm not very good at trivia when it comes to music. I'm really good at Disney movies. Really good at, have you ever done like the 80s shows or the 90s shows? Or Friends. I don't know if anybody was a Friends fan when it was out. Anyways, maybe something like that. We'll see what somebody else suggested. Something spring related, Sally. There you go. Something spring related. Something spring related. Is there such a thing as garden trivia? Thank you for some more ammo again, Sally. All right, I don't know what that was, but maybe for the trivia thing? Hey, Brian and Tiffany, or Tiffany. I don't know which one is here, but welcome. I'm glad you could pop in. So, I know I was on your live stream the other afternoon and listening to all these people talk about how they've started this garden and that garden, and I felt in good company because you hadn't started yet either. So I feel like I'm so far behind, and it's just not going to be possible until mid to late May. Maybe if, spring eventually kicks in here, maybe we can do something mid-May, but probably more than likely it'll be the end of May. And I don't know if I ever shared with you guys, but I had done, and I don't know if you've ever seen them, but they were selling these indoor gardens. They were very big a couple of years ago, and I wanted one so bad. It's like these long tubes, and it has like 4 tubes, really high, and it has like grow lights on them. And the vegetables, I guess you could do flowers too. I did vegetables. They just grow in these little pots that come out of these tubes. And I have to admit, we did get a lot of stuff. We got different lettuces. We got, these baby cucumbers. We got tomatoes, like cherry tomatoes, celery. But it definitely, it was by no means cost effective. And not that I thought it was going to be, so it was still fun to do, but I probably will never do it again. So now I got to sell it. I got to get rid of it. But I don't know where I was going with that whole, it's just that I was able to plant, I think it was last year, I was able to plant throughout the winter. So that was kind of fun. It was kind of fun to, have some fresh tomatoes for a salad. But after you make 2 or 3 salads, it takes a while to grow more. So it was very much a novelty, but it's not something that you can keep doing year after year. Just doesn't make sense. So It went well, hopefully. I'll make to the next step. You will, Daryl. You will, and you just will. We'll leave it at that. You will. She's looking for an answer, Michael. Mike, I gave you a compliment, okay? I gave you like 3 compliments. And I just recently heard, and not that this isn't the case, but with everything going on, it's really easy to not in this community. I'm not referring to this community, but to get angry with other people, right? And to feel that there's another side. And one thing I have learned, and I'll say it straight up, there is no other side, right? It's just good and it's evil, but there is no right or left. And I'm just going to throw that out there. But one of the things that I have learned over the past few years is not feeling that you're right and they're wrong. It's when no matter what is going on, you can still be kind to somebody else, even if they're not showing you kindness. Truly. Because to me, that's actually when, you're triumphant. It's not you being better than somebody. It's not you just ignoring them. It's when you can still show somebody kindness, even if they haven't shown it to you. That's when you win. That's when you bring love to a situation. That's when you're shining light, on a sad situation. And I recently said it in one of my videos, and I don't know which one it'll come out in. I'm so far behind, but it got me thinking. You think of Batman, right? Batman needed the Joker. That's what made Batman Batman, right? You needed these villains. So, and I'm not calling people villains, but sometimes you need people who push your buttons in your life. Simple as that, because that's what makes you grow. That makes you become the best person you can be. So even when somebody, throws shade on you, still teach them kindness, still show them kindness, show them love. That's when you're actually triumphant over, over the darkness, over the evil. So again, I'm not referring that's between what's going on, Sally, with you and Mike. I know you guys love each other. He tells me all the time how you were one of his best friends. He's probably going to get mad that I told you that, but he has told me that. So, Mike, okay. Oh, thank you, CL. And you always have such kind words to say, but honestly, all I am is a mirror. I'm a mirror to all of you, what's already inside of all of you. It's not me. It's you. It really is you. I mentioned preparing in my last random live. Hope you're all doing well. Okay, and I have not seen that one. But yeah, it's a good thing to talk about, and it's a good thing to talk about, several times, not just once, because obviously not everybody joins each time, first of all, and sometimes you get better ideas in the community, and I don't think it's going to get better anytime soon. So, and that is one thing that it's different for me than it was 6 years ago, is I do have this community. So now I'm watching people and I'm learning and I'm taking all that and I'm seeing how it fits my life, so that this time, I'm not caught off guard. This time I am going to prepare, right? It's okay to go through seasons, but you got to learn from them. So what happened in 2020 is just not going to happen again in my family. Thank goodness my kids are out of school right now. My last one's finishing up. And my grandkids are still about 4 years off from school. So hopefully things are going to shake out before then. That's a good question, Sally. Were you still teaching when we had lockdowns last time? Kindergarten that is tough. I mean, I would imagine you didn't even do anything online. I have to talk to you about that. That just kind of popped into my head. I live by the whole meaning of the Dash poem. Yeah. And again, you should read that from time to time, Sally. Now, I don't know, did you put it out, even repost it? I think you did a post on it. But even repost it from time to time, because different people read it. And I think different people need to hear about it. And the first time, I had never heard it before you read it. The first time I heard it from you was, I don't know, back I don't know, maybe a month ago. And I just remember thinking about that because my children's uncle had passed. And I was talking to somebody I remember at the service, and I had talked about that dash. And I only knew it because you had shared the poem, the story, whatever. And I'm like, my goodness, Uncle Charlie had the best dash going. So, any tears that are being shed are not for Uncle Charlie. They were for, the people who were left behind. So definitely, talk about that from time to time. It was fun watching Daniel. Yeah, it was. It was. So Sally, is Mike your joker? Is Mike your joker? Thank you so much for the kind words last night. Have fun in nature. I really reflected on it. Was that their live stream last night? I'll have to go back and watch that one. Scott was a lot of fun also. He was wild last night. He was wild. So, I love him. So, it was fun last night. Everyone should prepare on 2 levels. One for natural disasters, hurricanes, tsunamis, tornadoes, earthquakes. Yep. Also prepare for long-term grid outage. 100%. I'm always so cautious, and I don't know if it's Brian or Tiffany I'm talking to. I'm always so cautious to say things, and I don't know why. I don't know why. So thank you for saying it, but it's true, because I do believe there'll be outages. I do believe there's going to be lockdowns again because of this. So we just got to be prepared. Nothing to be afraid of. We just got to be prepared. We don't have a generator because gas is near impossible to get when a hurricane hits the Gulf. Yeah, I would imagine so, CL. But I know a lot of people do have generators. So how do they do? You know what? Actually, I have a friend in Florida, and I don't know. I would imagine she has a generator, but I don't know that for a fact. I'll have to ask what she does. So, Brussels sprouts, CL. Daniel, have you made CL a song yet? So I think I've heard Dana's, Sally's, Mike's. Have you made Scott one? I'm telling you, you should be charging all of us, sir, for your time. A bag of Brussels sprouts is $1, Daniel. It's economical. Oh, and I think Sally said today, Daniel, today's spinach day. Do you like spinach? So maybe have some spinach. Happy to be here. Tiffany, I still haven't started seeds. So, yeah, same. And, I'll probably go a step beyond that, to be honest. I usually go to the nursery, to the greenhouse there, and I will grab some small seedlings that have already been started. Because I never start them in time, to be honest. And I like them just to be a little bit further along, because then I can just plop them into the ground. And, so I guess that's kind of cheating, but it's what works for us. And typically, we've tried so many different things, but the things that I consistently now grow every year are the cucumbers, different tomatoes, eggplant, a couple different eggplant, peppers, different types of peppers, obviously tons of herbs. There's one other. What was... Oh, we grew pumpkins last year. I'm missing one. Celery. We grew celery last year. So, and lettuce. We've tried broccoli. We've tried zucchini. We do have... sometimes the bunnies like to eat things. But my husband's actually put an electric fence around our garden now and stuff. So we're trying. This year I am going to do potatoes. I think that's it. That's what I'm going to do this year. We can't go in the ground until end of May. Same. So I don't know if I'm that far behind. Hey, Carol. Good morning. I think I saw you on Dora's live this morning, right? Or am I dreaming that? I hopped on her live pretty early. And it was kind of Dora, for the folks who know, she was, I don't know, folks know who she is. Actually, I was introduced by Mike to her, and I believe she's from Australia, but she is traveling. She was in Bali, so she was sharing the sunset with us at like, I don't know, 5:45 this morning. So, hey there. How are you? I'm glad you could pop in, hun. Living my best life. I certainly hope you're living your best life. Fishing video tonight on my channel, going down to the creek. It's going to be 83. All right. What time, Daniel? Do you know? Around the 6-ish? Awesome. Be the light, spread love and kindness. Yeah, 100%. Even when people do you wrong, I'm not saying that you got to stand there and take the wrongness, if you would, but it doesn't mean you can't quietly send them love, So, good morning. Echo, a kaleidoscope of happiness. Did I miss somebody? I apologize if I missed somebody. I was trying to skip the hellos, so if I did, I apologize. Have to take the good with the bad. It helps you appreciate the good. Certainly does. Yes. Good morning, CL. Good morning, DG. Okay, I'm going to Brookside Park and fishing Leatherwood Creek. Carissa wants to go to the park. All right. Yes, Carissa should win, Daniel. You should know that. You should know that. Good morning, Sally. Good morning, Famous Mike. Carol, how are you? I was on your live, but I didn't understand it was a game. Good morning, Big D. Grinning. See, this is what I get. Grinning from ear to ear. When I use Ecamm, they don't give us emojis. They tell us what the emojis say. So, Tiffany, you don't have to live in fear. Just prepare. Nope, I wasn't teaching. Thank you, God, during the pandemic. Okay. Yeah, my mother-in-law, she was a preschool teacher for like 40 years, maybe 44, for a very, very long time. And even after we had lost my father-in-law, she just continued because, kind of like you, Sally, it was her lifeline. It really was her lifeline. But then, and even after we lost my father-in-law, she was diagnosed with stage 3 lung cancer, and she got through that, and she never stopped teaching because those kids were that much of a lifeline to her. But then, yeah, Massachusetts came in and shut everything down, and it was a heartbreak that after 44 years, that's how she had to shut her doors. It was so sad. So I keep listening to the song that made me. I absolutely love it. That he made you. Same. I've shared it with everybody. I'm like, you got to listen to this. So Scott was acting like me yesterday. Perhaps it's because we were talking yesterday. Oh, so maybe you rubbed off on him, Sally? You know what? He's not. I know he was on your live stream this morning, but he's not here. So he's probably taking a nap. He probably needed a nap after last night. You're welcome, Mike. I'm hoping Allie and Scott make a music video with theirs. Not yet with CL. I haven't seen Scott's and I have not seen Allie's. Okay. And yes, I do like spinach, just not dry in a salad. Fair. I like mine sauteed with feta cheese. So I love Dora. I keep missing her live. Well, her lives are like, this morning, like I said, I don't know when it started, but I hopped on at like 5:45 this morning. So, but she is fun. She just doesn't care. She just doesn't care. Whatever comes across her mind, she just talks about, and she doesn't care. She was actually getting a massage from, I believe it was a woman who was walking the beach in Bali. And it was just kind of cool to see, It was just kind of cool to see. They were hustling. Those people on the beach. She was showing us how there were different people on the beach giving out massages. Throw some spinach in a skillet. Oh my goodness, so good. Right? Yep, that's me, Sally. I'm kind of with Daniel. No fresh spinach. I was there. I saw you. Yeah, okay, so it was you. I thought so. I met a lot of, she was introducing the folks in her live this morning. So I met some other folks. There was another woman, I don't remember her channel now, but I remember her first name being Crystal. And she was from Maine, which isn't too far from me. So that was kind of fun. I like spinach dip. Fishing video won't be live, just a normal upload. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that's nice. That's nice that you guys can just spend the time together. The two of you, with everybody watching afterwards. So, looking forward to it, Daniel. I was streaming anagrams all night. Okay. No, I don't think Dora's here, hun. We had caught a live this morning. She was in Bali. She had traveled to Bali. So, which I had no idea where it was. I literally had to Google it. It's in Indonesia. You would think I know where it is, but I was never very good with geography. I don't garden. I cannot keep a plant alive to save my life. Dana, I bet that's not true. You can. You can. You definitely can. Let's start. We can start in planters. You know, just have a sunny spot near your house and let's start in planters. You can grow something. You can grow tomatoes in planters. I've grown cucumbers in planters. So I think you should try it. I think you should try it again. Spinach is great sauteed with a splash of vinegar. I've never had vinegar with it. We'll stream all night again until my StreamYard membership ends. Okay. So that's good. So what time does that start, Carol? You should drop it in the comments. Where is Allie? It's a good point, Sally. I don't know, but she did tell me that her son's on spring break this week. So maybe they're out doing something fun. She did say they were out having fun yesterday, and that's why she missed. I think she may have taken a nap, but prior to taking the nap, she was out all day with her son, and that's why she missed Daniel's. So, oh, I think I'm all caught up. Living your best life. I believe her name is Echo. Okay. Thank you. I don't use emojis. I write greeting from ear to ear in words. No, you don't. No, you don't. Anyways, all right. It's 10:54. And I don't know where my book is. Oh my goodness, where is my book? I was going to try and not pull a Daniel, but... All right, only half a Daniel. I didn't have to leave my chair. And then don't go anywhere, folks. I'm going to read the entry for today, but then I'm going to play Daniel's song again that he wrote for my channel. What is the date? The 26th? All right, March 26th, I think, right? That voice in your head is wrong. It definitely wasn't a big deal. Probably nobody noticed. And even if they did, they've already forgotten about it. You probably should too. Ask yourself this, isn't it about time I accepted the fact that everyone isn't analyzing everything I do or say? And that is so true. People most of the time don't really care what you're doing. They just don't. People are so caught up in our own lives. You know, and I say that with love. People just aren't judging you most of the time. So, all right. A few minutes early, but I want to play Daniel's song again. So, what is today? Thursday. So I will be seeing everybody throughout the weekend on different lives or different videos, or in the morning at Sally's live stream. I hope you guys have a great week. And I do think it's going to be mid-60s today here, so I'm very excited. So definitely have to go out for a run. That's it. Love you guys. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to play Daniel's song. All right. Love you guys. You take care. Hold on.
She laces up her shoes at sunrise. Camera in her hand, hope in her eyes. Dust on the trail, sky open wide. Talking about grace with Welcome